it would have been a very interesting predicament if we went that. So the forklift is still there. It still lives. You're going to be hearing us shouting about that mobility vehicle at some point. Pistol round now underway. CT side is going to be for Peak Esports and last resort on the tees. And here we go. Looks like they've begun pushing directly onto A site. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, 2 sets of futility means that they can certainly set themselves up for this execute. They're even throwing those nades in towards the sandbags just to make sure that if there is a player there, sure it's not Molotov, they can't fully flush it out, but that player would be weakened. But that nade does signal towards Peak that it is likely to be an A-side hit, and they're moving into position. There's 4 players in close proximity here, just waiting for last resort to make the first move.
1 minute and 10 left on the clock. No bullets fired from anyone in this game so far. TLR staving their time. They are waiting. But Peak Esports, they've expected this. They've got the stack. Are they going to be able to do anything with it? They've heard the movement. The utility's going to be deployed. Ebons now going to be the first one to open up anything. Takes down 2. Single bullets to get up these frags. Then the third. Can he get the 4th? No. Zik takes that from him. 3 very clean kills coming on through from Ebons, and now it is just King Joss. 1 versus 5. Takes down 1. Looking for the second as well. A little bit less clean, a little bit sloppy, but still gets that momentum to push directly on towards the CT side. Takes down another one. There's the flick from Joss. He's looking for some more. He's looking for blood. He takes down 2 so far. Looking for a third, but it's going to be Zik. The kills of the CT side spread between 2 players. 3 onto Ebons, 2 onto Zik.
Yeah, that's a great level of patience to have in a situation like that. Just hardly moved his crosshair, committed to the headshot angle, and just hitting the shots. I mean, clicked when he had to. It was very much less about aim, just more about clicking when to almost like a rhythm, because last resort were trying to chase down that trade, and he was just knocking them down as they came. And with TLR being on just the pistols in this round, it's not going to be an easy one. They get completely shut down. The nades finish off the job, and Peak Esports, a clean second round.
2-0. Peak Esports. Doing well so far. Single frag for TLR. And all. Boosty, or maybe not. Are they boosting? Hello. Make up your mind. Yep. Denison. It's going to be used as a step stool for all intents and purposes. Full automatics now are going to be out for TLR. You wait to see who's going to be the first one to open up this round. Smoke's going to dissipate. Cobra potentially. Oh, I think he's been spotted. He's been spotted, but I don't think. Wow, yeah, through the smoke. Husky does take him down. The grenade helps out as well. Zik looking to retaliate and avenge his fallen comrade. Is it going to be enough, though? I don't think so.
That was a small micro play. I mean, he threw the nade, and he knew exactly that the reaction is likely to be to jump up on the boxes as well. So Husky really boxed that player in. Snake
Micro
charmer,
play?
some say.
I call that a big brain play. That was a very smart. Koss shut down. Not so smart. Just holding the angle since the beginning of this round. And oh, that was aggressive. Hello, Pop Flash. Ebons, when he's not getting frags, he's helping out his teammates to be able to get them instead. He takes down Trout. He's looking for a little bit more. Is he going to be able to pick up this frag onto Bunny?
Zeke still holds the bomb rotation. Oh no, Evan's been taken down, but this is what everything matters. Zeke still has the bomb. Now suddenly he holds all the cards. Wow. He has it trapped in towards the ladder room, and he repositions, trying to find and get the drop on these players, but they're able to come out ahead. It's Joss that guns him down. It almost works out perfectly for him.
I think it would have been better to just be holding the bomb instead of holding the rotation, right?
Well, he was holding for the player to pick up the bomb and then get him as he rotated away.
Okay, so they were expecting them to come round from B instead of from directly on A for left. Right, okay. There we go. Even I learned things. Proud of these games.
It was the right idea, but he just lost his teammates on the other side of the map, and just meant that
he panicked a little bit.
Exactly. He gets kind of trapped in a position where he has to make some sort of initiative play.
Pistols for Peak. Now we've seen Evans decide that he's the pistol god for Peak Esports. And that was on a USPS. Is he going to be able to do anything with the Deagles? We're seeing 4 of them so far. Zik opting not to go for it and just sticking with, God, his crosshair is right over someone's head. Left mouse button. Evans, do it. Get the frag.
There's a floor there, mate.
Oh, there is a... There's smoke, all right.
He's holding just in case somebody walks through, but he's precariously perched his crosshair on top of him.
Denison. Close, using the enemy smoke to his advantage. Benny. Oh, has he spotted anyone here? I think he kind of expects someone to be there, but no line of sight as of yet. Molotov going to be deployed. Yeah, kind of a zoning, to be honest with you. Benny, the spray control's there. He's going to be able to shut down Zick. Trout as well. Dear Lord, the amount of frags. Denison and Evans, they pick up kills left, right, and center. Koss now. The bomb not gone down, but Husky doesn't care. Still puts up the frag onto Koss. Krieg versus Krieg. Puts up the scope. Proved to be a little bit unnecessary, Husky.
That is such an expensive round. That's just pistols. I mean, you talk about someone like Evans being good on the pistols. It seems like everybody on the side of Peak Esports was able to win one of those respective duels. Almost they actually almost steal it away. So that hurts the economy of the last resort. Denison gets the opportunity but does fall back as a result, making use of that small gap in the sandbags. Actually repositioning. They thought he'd fallen all the way back towards the bomb site. Instead, he just takes another angle. So he still finds that advantage. It is delayed. We'll see if the last resort can take some advantages away, take some other side map control, as they have already lost a bit of aggression over towards A. This smoke is interesting.
I like that. Not giving away too much information.
Deploys a bit faster as well. I think you might be able to just sort of crouch boost over it.
It's the bounce limit, isn't it? Where it just deploys from there because the movement just stopped.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you kind of make your way around the crane, you could probably crouch boost above your head, and that could just be another way to get an entry, but...
Inson's seen that smoke before. That was a very nice angle. So he was boosting on top of the double box and then jumps... Oh, this is what we're talking about! Yeah. The map! The map is so good! He does get sent miles down to the floor, but being able to use that external angle and be able to shut down two of them, fantastic. Trouto, the last guy remaining in a 1 versus 4 now, an AK in hand, hasn't spotted the boosted player, but doesn't need to spot him if he can just pick up the frag. Up into the air, goes the flashbang. Is he going to be able to pick up anything here? Left angle, right angle, and directly in front. It was tough for him, and he wasn't able to do it. Evans picks up that final kill, scores a third round for Peak Esports.
Yeah, that's something that will come down to map knowledge, map familiarity as well, because you're looking at things, kind of the predictable angles, ways in which you can fall back to the site, but that's a full commitment from Zeke. He's very much trapped in. It's an awkward one to rotate away from, but he hard commits and the patience pays off. Again, it's going to be this angle here from Denison, and again, he misses out on the first chance. Ooh, and the AWP's on the other side.
Just above the box, I think he spotted him out, but didn't want to give away the fact that he has an AWP. No bullet's been fired from Benny yet. Ooh, Husky.
Yeah.
Little bit of a surf. He's clearly been practicing that.
Small movement things. Always nice to see.
There was something like that a few months ago with Scream, where I don't think he would have defused the bomb if he didn't use surfing tactics. Koss, a little bit of damage. Dealt down range, and the retaliation was there also. Damage traded between both sides. No one's fallen as of yet. With only a minute left on the clock. Trouto's looking for the boost. Nobody home. Here's the AWP shot. Oh, okay. Through the wall.
Yeah.
A little bit cheeky. We've seen a lot of wall bangs through that wall in the last couple of days.
Oh, Evans holding by the pillar again. It's spam damage on towards Benny. Yeah, it's fantastically timed. It seems that he's understood that the move is going to be towards the A bomb site, but Evans is completely picked apart. Benny as well will answer with the AWP, so no more wall bangs for you. Koss trapped behind the Molotov, but he's found the opportunity. Might be able to get the planter as well. Does spring into action. There's the secondary kill. It's onto the 2-on-2. Cobra still yet to make his way over towards this A site. For now, it's all about buying time and just keeping these Ts contained. Applying and continuing to apply that pressure.
Grenade could have been hell for JB, but nope, it's going to be the AK which is hell for him. Benny now 1 versus 2, takes down one. Cobra on deck, pistol swapped out to the Glock. He hasn't got much time. Koss just needs to push directly onto the bomb site, but no, the M4 is nowhere near as mighty as the Glock.
Yeah, that's such an awkward position to find yourself in. He has to go above the boxes just to try and get the angle. It's such a tight shot to be able to hit. And he didn't fancy his chances, especially because the Glock is such a high mobility advantage in that sort of a situation. That's how we equalize things. It's still been back and forth throughout this game. And even with Peak kind of looking for opportunities and opening duels, they've not very rarely actually found them. This time it's Zeke on the pistol, no less.
Does JB spot him here? I don't think he's expecting the angle. This is incredibly off. You don't expect someone this high up, and dear lord, he's just holding down left mouse button. Doesn't deal any damage though. Zik does get a frag on the other side of the map with a pistol.
Yeah, recovers a deagle as well, so should be able to make use of that in some capacity. Benny's still slowly working with the AWP over towards the B side of the map. JB is answered with one on Dennison. And Evans for now is not really feeling that pressure. He can hear these reloads, he can hear those sound cues, but Benny is still kind of probing in towards B.
This is interesting. Not a site that, as crazy as it sounds, the one of two sites on Vertigo, not a site that we usually see pushed. It is usually the A game and the A game only. Oh. Benny, oh wow, how has he not seen that? And he's caught completely off guard. The deagle shot's coming on through from Koss. Does take down the AWPer, but the retaliation is there. 3 versus 3 with the health advantage going to the way of the T side, and they are now going to be planting on B. B, a little bit harder to retake, especially if you've only got a deagle like Zik does right now, and 19 HP.
Yeah, a couple of rifles dart in the mix. They're trying to use Zik as a bait and switch, using the space. Husky does spot one out, but using the shotgun up instead, and finds the triple as well. That is fantastic from Husky, knocking them each down individually. That's how Last Resort edged themselves further into the lead. That is a 4th for them, and the individual skill of Husky really shining through.
4th for them and 4th for Husky as well. 4 frags in that round. Just a single kill away from clutching out fully. Four to 3. Game definitely not over for Peak. Far from. Dennison, a little bit aggressive with Koss, and oh, well, okay. I might have to eat my words as this is getting a little bit messy. Ebans, okay, you know what? You've done so much amazing work with this USPS. You've taken down someone who's got a fully automatic. You shouldn't really be doing that. But he does it nevertheless. 1 versus 4 now. Dennison with the CZ75 spots out Joss, but panics a little bit too much, and the 12 bullets in the clip bites him. He deals the damage, but can't finish the job. Drops him down to 8 HP, and potentially down the ladder. Nope. Looking to move back round through mid on the 31st floor. Sorry, the 51st floor.
And the thing is, we haven't really seen too many full buys from Peak.
No.
Yet they've gone for pretty standard approaches in these sort of half buys or these upgraded pistols. And although they're doing some damage, especially in this round, they're not quite able to find those kills. The money still kind of builds up on that Last Resort side. The game has been close, but that buffer is something that the Last Resort will comfortably rely on moving forward. Peak need to answer with a pretty decisive round. They've gotten themselves into some nice forward positions in the past. We saw Zeke with a play that siphoned off the bomb. But then they're just losing out on these duels, losing out to these rifles. The Last Resort are playing these rounds out slowly as well. They know that as well with Peak losing so many gun rounds that they're going to have to try something at one point or another. So playing this default, playing it pretty standard, means that they can identify that quickly and potentially kind of circumvent it.
It's a great read from TLR. As you correctly said, they recognize that Peak, they've done these aggressive rounds before on Nuke. So they're fully expecting it on Vertigo as well. That trusty smoke coming in handy once more. Husky taking down Dennison as he gets a little bit too overzealous. Looking for a little bit more, and well, nope, the range of your MP9 isn't going to be able to help you out there. As Zik gets taken down as well. 5 versus 3, Husky dropped down to 19 HP, but the only player for TLR to take any damage right now. All from range, and I like that position, but King Joss was expecting it. Doesn't take too much damage either.
Yeah, the small crack angle, you favor the CT side because it's just the single pixel to worry about, but he was so prepared for the fight. The first kill for the CT side is on Ebans, but there's still so much more work to be done. 4 players stand in his path. These players haven't rotated. They weren't called over by losing their B-site players, and Cobra sits in the off angle. There's another kill, but it's traded right back. It's Ebans still alive and kicking, but 2 more players left, 1 severely weakened.
Ebans in a 1 versus 2. I feel like if any player on Peak Esports can do it, it is him. Spots out one, takes him down. That was the main HP player on the deck now. A single bullet will do it. Diffuse kit very much available. 3 kills for him this round so far. Single bullet is all that's required from the fully automatic. You got to check the angle. Close range, hasn't checked anything yet, and I think Husky's got him.
Smart.
I think he's going to be able to jump on the back of this one. Evans has no idea, and he doesn't have time for the defuse either. Oh, he's left it all too late, and he gets shut down by Husky. It's all well and good looking for that final frag, but you need to play around that bomb.
Yeah, Husky took a risk as well. I mean, he identified that the reason that he brought it to the one-on-one was the fact that it came down to that repositioning in the mid-round. So he anticipates that same call again from Evans. It comes back to bite him. Husky takes that risk and it pays off. He sees rewards from it. The upgraded pistols brought in again from Peak Esports. It's so many rounds that we've seen this from them. And the Last Resort haven't shown signs of cracking to these anti-ecos. They've had a few close calls, but not really anything to be too concerned about as of yet. And Husky's been fairly dominant towards the B side of things. Peak have attempted a couple plays to get an advantage, but it seems like Husky just knows how to kind of slowly work that area, find those picks for the side. And again, it's just
practice, right? Like,
it's a fairly clean-cut round from Peak. It's no gimmicks involved at all with the pistols.
Nothing fancy, which is potentially what we're missing here, and potentially what Peak needs to pull out the bag. They need something with a bit of pizzazz, for lack of a better term. They need to try something different. We haven't seen that yet. Boost coming on through from Joss, or not. He misses it. A little bit of a miscommunication from his teammates there. 5 versus 4. Dennison gets Herb with the rotation. Spray coming on through while Zik does pick up King Josh. That is going to be it. 4 versus 2 now. I mean, they have to go for this. I think the peak needs to be there. Cobra, the first one to peak, but isn't able to gain anything from it. The AWP is going to be able to take him down as the slivery snake of Cobra finishes the job.
Well, I mean, Evans, 1 versus 4, Deagle in hand, maybe he gets one more kill. Okay, not even that. Last Resort are making short work of their opposition here. I mean, Peak, coming into this, we had Nuke, we had Vertigo, we had a lot of questions coming into those maps. We knew Peak had played it in the, so far at this Epic LAN. TLR steal that map away from them, and then you have Vertigo. And how prepared are you? It doesn't seem like Peak have these pocket strategies, these kind of gimmicks that you can implement to get you some easy round wins. Just pull it out once. It's something that you probably won't surprise your opponent again, but you need to have some of those gimmicks to implement. Because so far it has been fairly standard. Maybe this is it. The triple op setup on the CT side, it's a
bold play. It's not something you usually see.
And that's the thing. The CT side of Vertigo, it doesn't lend itself to this double op style either. So
going for the triple op. So it doesn't lend itself to the double, but maybe the triple would be fine.
Yeah, it's...
They've got 2 on B site. They've got 1 on B, 1 in mid, and 1 on A. So they're covering all angles for all intents and purposes. They've got everything they need. Koss is holding the right angle instead of the left, and he does hit the flick, though. That is going to be Josh on the deck. Bomb is still dropped inside of T-spawn, just as TLR kind of get their bearings, work out what's going on in this round, as they seem to have a sixth sense when they know that P can't go play normally. Cobra. Head might be spotted by JB. I think he's safe for now, though.
Oh, the smoke fails. It was so trusty. They'd come to rely on it, but they actually miss out on the right lineup. Cobra's actually spotting them out as well. It's in fact the secondary op that comes through from Evans that finds the pick. Cobra still dancing around the sides, trying to find some space, allow them a way into the bomb site, but for now they'll play for the retake. Koss actually taking a lot of damage from the flames, and Husky's getting aggressive.
There's so much utility that Peak have right now they aren't using. Like, it's all well and good using the weapons you have in your hand, but use everything else to your advantage as well. Husky's taken down 2. It's like Trouto's taking on one of his own as well. Oh, look at the flank. He does a lot of damage, but it isn't going to be enough to pick up the frag. Trouto, dead. Benny now, 1 versus 2 with the AWP in hand. Looking to be able to shut down the other AWPers who are building that momentum. No scope or not. Tries for the full scope, and he slowly.
This is a close defuse.
He hasn't got it. Nope.
Oh, he just barely gets it.
That was...
It was really close.
Points of a second. Well, don't be a loser.
Well, he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to buy a diffuser if he won the round.
All right.
Yep. It only works if they lose it.
It was close enough.
It was really close. And just even if he threatened or killed Evans, he probably gets off the bomb, right?
Yeah,
a 10-second defuse is hard to stick in that situation. Last resort, usually slow. It's fast instead towards B. They get the trades they need to. They're able to get their way up towards the B site, and Evans is spotted out as well. The Molotov will flush him out into the open. That's another one of these AWPs that needs to stay alive. Had so much impact in the last round, but there's the secondary. It's cost that strikes. And now they reconsider, just repositioning JB as well, falling back instead towards the A-bomb site. And Peak have over-rotated. There's nobody alive and kicking, or even really showing much of an idea that this is a possibility for TLR.
No, the A push, they've fallen back into their old play style, which is, let's just go A. After a very aggressive push towards B, it looked like it was working out, but it was not to be. Smokes and flashes. A lot of utility going to be deployed towards the A site now, and this kind of gives it away. They need to get this bomb planted. Pushing on through. That is a very interesting place to plant that bomb. You don't usually see it planted that wide. Usually just by the crates.
There is a flank, I think, coming from Peak Esports, though. He's in at A ramp. But they're actually pushing forward. King Joss is taking forward positioning to try and get this post plant underway. Eben, oh, he gets cleared. He misses the shot as well, able to adapt in time, but King Joss has the information. Now the one-on-one will ensue. Evans fully flashed up. It is perfect from Joss. Another round for last resort. Just as you think maybe Peak will get a couple more rounds under belt. They get the ops in play. They have so much impact from them. And then they lose the one-on-one. It's so close. Well, TLR will be happy to take a round like that. They've been more consistent individually. Peak again on pistols. How many times have we seen this? It's
too many.
Far too often.
Economy is completely busted and has been since the beginning of this game for Peak. They commit into a round and they just aren't able to gain anything from it. And I don't even think it's CT disadvantage. It's just... I don't want to say too much about it because it's very much a... It seems like Peak weren't prepared for this, but then it raises the questions, why was Inferno banned? Why was Mirage banned? When most teams are significantly more confident on that than they are on a Vertigo, which is usually a first ban for most teams.
TLR just seem like they're, I mean, in some cases just outgunning them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even a case like that where Evan should have that kill every day of the week. Still, King Joss comes out on top. It does get dealt with. Still, it's only the one pistol they have to worry about, and they even deal with him at the end. No rifles recovered, nothing to worry about in terms of saved weaponry. Peak still on that large loss bonus. They've been sitting on it for quite some time as TLR have been stringing these rounds together.
Most of the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But due to that, potentially going to be seeing a little bit more of a level playing field. We've got fully automatics in the game for them now as well. You've got your M4s, you've got your AUG, and a couple of AWPs as well. I mean, Koss and Dennison, they've been doing well with them. So I'm not going to doubt the fact that they picked these up.
They've had a lot of impact from those AWPs. And in fact, some of it's felt in this round already. Husky was peering in that B steps position as he has been for most of this game. Already tagged down to 15 HP. There is no HE available for Peak, but look at the forward position here from Zik. He can fast flank towards A with this. You can hear a lot of these rotations should last resort make the noise. And noise they shall make over towards A. It's again this slow approach, Molotoving out those sandbags positions. And just trying to make sure that Peak are kept honest. They're not accelerating, they're not giving up any of these sound cues, and there's no immediate response from the CT side. They're again playing it in the bomb sites and just hoping that they can hold.
Sound is something that the TLR squad have done fantastically at playing. They just don't give away too much information in their positions until they need to. Like this. They pop a lot of utility, they give away positions, they start banging the war drums, making all that noise, and it clearly works. They just punish Peak for playing too passively. Bomb's going to be dropped onto the side. Here comes the spray from Evans. He's only going to be able to take down one, though. They line up for him, but he's not going to be able to finish the job. Spray coming on through from Zip isn't going to be able to take down Husky. 1 versus 2 now. Dinson takes a little bit of damage from that AWP, looking for the close range, takes him down, but it's going to be Benny who finishes the job. Round number 14 going to the way of TLR. 10-4.
Oh, they just get so close, man. It hurts.
It builds up and builds and builds up, and it just crumbles.
Even that spray through the smoke on the bomb planter, it looked like he was basically on him, but it's just slightly above the head, and then he dies after the fact as well.
It's like that scene from Ali G where it just draws around
an outline,
him.
yeah. It's not what you want to see if you're Peak. He fought so hard to stay alive in the lower bracket.
Is that wallbangable?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
It is. It doesn't do that much damage, but
it's more of the just fear of seeing bullets raining through a wall, right?
Just the panic it instills.
Well, clearly the panic has ensured that Trouto could pick up another kill. That's going to be on to Zik.
Cos actually evades capture. Seemed like he was going to get boxed in as a result of that Molotov play from the last resort. They're kind of pushing on through, and the smoke as well means that they can threaten the lurk. Can make their way in towards the back lines of this B site, and that makes things a little bit more difficult for those defenders. Cos as well is just sitting behind the smoke.
Not with Dinson.
So, yeah, just making sure that they can't get wrapped on the A side of things as well.
The ninjas of Peak Esports. I think Cos needs to go back to ninja school.
Ninja meets samurai.
What's stronger, ninja or samurai?
Don't know. I'm pretty sure there are books written about that somewhere. Benny in with the AWP. Oh, they line up for Evans, but he can't get more than one. It comes into the 1 versus 3 for Cobra. Trouto is low. There's a kit available. There's certainly a chance here for Cobra, especially if he goes unchecked coming on in on this flank.
Not like this. Great lineup for Evans, but he's not able to capitalize. 19 HP for Cobra. He upgrades from his FAMAS to the Krieg, but through the wall is taken down by Benny. 11-4. Round number 15 going to the way of Last Resort again. They only need 5 rounds. And unfortunately, it's looking like a one-sided affair. This is the Last Resort's game. This is the Last Resort's map. And they're just running away with it.
Yeah, and Peak have been slowly rising, getting closer and closer, placing further and further in the tournament. But maybe they've reached their peak. Yeah, I'm proud about that one. I'm proud about that one.
Well played.
We'll have to see if they
How
can
long have you been sitting on that?
We'll have to see if they can pull things back on the T side of things. Far too long. Far too long.
So disappointed. JB is going to fall at the hands of Dinson as Peak Esports. They do actually start opening up this round. Cobra. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, Husky. Okay. Very stoic. Very slow from him. Taps coming on through from Trouto. Not going to connect. It's going to be Cos taking down one. And you know what? Maybe this is it. Maybe Peak just like T-side. Because the taps coming on through from Cos, they're really, really showing a different side of this Peak Esports team. They're almost going to summit.
Yep. Hitting the shots they need to. Ignoring it, moving right past. Peak able to get the pistol round. That is certainly the first piece of the puzzle, right? It has to be that consistently through this half. We saw how much they struggled on that CT side to get a strong economy, even though they sat on that lost bonus for such a long time, just not able to convert on the rifle rounds, just consistently pushed back to the upgraded pistols. It was half buy after half buy after half buy, and they've dealt with the push over towards the A side of things. The Last Resort group themselves up. They go for a gimmick. And this actually does lean itself more to them having an idea of what they want to do in the map, whereas Peak never seemed to really do that on these upgraded pistols. And it's going to be a clean round for Peak. That's exactly what you want to see.
The accuracy from JB was quite odd. I don't think we've seen him whiff that many shots before. Of course, it's a pistol versus an AK, but I don't know, he seemed to panic. And we've seen the Last Resort guys be kind of cool and collective throughout this entire game and potentially this series as well. So it's odd to see them not be prepared for everything. Molotov going to be deployed by King Joss. It does end up extinguishing, and the smoke is going to take its place. Takes a lot of damage, but he's going to be safe for now. He's going to pull back, hold the longer angle with the M4 in hand. The first full buy in the last resort. He's, I mean, it's working.
Yeah, and there's the response as well. They lose mid-control, they immediately aggress over towards the B side of things. They get a pick as well because on Peak's default, instead of kind of playing behind the smokes, playing instead for the late round, what they do is they push forward, and last TLR found an additional pick. Peak, they had mid-control, they've held onto it for some time, but they haven't been able to really capitalize on the additional spacing. Cobra does alleviate some pressure, but he's taken and traded right back. It's instead Zeke that falls for his troubles. Husky as well is just being such a nuisance. The timely smoke, but straight on through it. It's cost that trades.
Joss, holding on the site. Here in the movement, here the crate, sprays him down, takes him out. Koss on the deck, the Josh combo.
The bomb's upstairs.
Ooh, he's got enough time though, right? Because he can go down the ladder here.
But he had to separate from his teammate just to go and recover it. That's why it's so stagnated, so separated from these two players, and he's not able to get the kill he needs to. Nobody taking up the mantle, nobody wanted to carry the bomb, and it comes back to bite Peak. You'd think maybe if there's two on the site, they trade things out. Maybe even they keep both alive, but instead, they have to separate.
We see that quite early on in rounds, especially if you're going to kind of fake one side, just dropping the bomb towards your spawn. But around that late, you need to commit someone to be able to go back for that bomb a little bit earlier. Because that ultimately lost the round for Peak, a round which realistically, on paper, they should have won.
Oh my days, the nades did so much damage.
So much utility damage in this round. I'd love to see that stat in a bit. I see what they're actually dealing with it.
I think one of the Peak guys almost naded his own teammates as well after they'd taken all that damage, and there was just, I saw the panic.
As bad as it sounds, I don't think it wouldn't really surprise me. The stage spray coming up through for JB, and it is going to be Husky who picks up the kill. He jumps down, MP9, and an upgrade very quickly to an AK. Evans down to 15 HP for Peak, along with Zeke. He's at 100 right now. With an AK in hand. Hasn't spotted the cross. Spots out one, though. Great accuracy from range. Takes down one. He's in for a little bit more and caught with his trousers wrapped firmly around his ankles as he gets taken down while reloading.
Yeah, Peak, I mean, that was a round that looked just like TLR disrespecting them. They just pushed straight into them. The nades did so much. Then they go aggressive once more. They redeploy the smoke. They throw Molotovs as well. They're being methodical about how they approach map control. And sure, we talked about how Peak let this through the veto process, but it shows that there doesn't seem to be as much preparation. They rely on their individuals. This time with the pistols, they'll see a little bit of success, but it is darted in and amongst Glocks. Rifle has been recovered, however. Husky almost capitalizes on a player turning and running and gunning, but Benny in the sandbags has gone uncleared. He's sprung into action. He's found two.
That twitch shooting, it's just like, I don't know where you are, but I'm just going to fire bullets down range so you don't peek me.
I am terrified. Please send help.
He was absolutely terrified. What on earth was that? 13-6. 1 minute left on the clock. The mouse doing, dude.
Well, our observer just wanted to make sure that we knew that there was a map advantage for the series.
Look at that. Top right-hand corner, guys, if you missed that. Last resort, I've got a white thing next to their name. Next to the big 13, you know, the map advantage. And also the fact they won nuke. So this is kind of crucial for Peak. JB. Oh, he's played this incredibly well. He hasn't really given away his position. He hasn't needed to. He takes down two. 14-9.
To 6.
Ooh. They're spraying on bodies now. The flame is real. I think I heard someone just start typing in chat.
Yeah, only 6 rounds for Peak so far. I mean, this had to be the plan. I mean, TLR, they're comfortable leaving Nuke in the pool. Maybe they've got a little bit more of an illustrious map pool, so they've got far more threats to worry about. Peak were concerned about things like Inferno, but maybe Vertigo needed to be banned instead. At least they start things off well. Dennison there with the Krieg, but Troto is close. A forward angle, one that may not be cleared, and he springs in, gets the kill, and there's nobody to trade for Peak.
You don't expect that angle. That movement from him was, I can't fault that at all. That was amazing. To be able to get into that position without them hearing you as well. Sure, you lose a player for it, but you gain so much ground.
Yeah.
4 versus 4. A level playing field. 100 HP on all 8 players in the game. Taps coming on through from Josh. Not going to connect.
Yeah, nobody's really taking these risks. Risks that you expect Peak to take, considering how aggressive they were being on Nuke earlier on. Oh, Troto misses out on the duel. It's Cost that comes out ahead, so they narrowly have an advantage here. Still a lot of time on the clock they can reposition, but if they just completely demolish Husky on the site, that incentivizes the push on A. JB, the 1 versus 3 ensues.
The sneak up to the site there, just him crouching with a bomb in hand, was quite a sight, to say the least. Koss does take down JB. That's another frag for him. A 7th round for Peak Esports.
Yeah, they're
back on the board.
It's just, it's so far to go. Another 7 rounds. I mean, I know they had 7 in a row on Nuke, but that is also their pick. They don't seem prepared in the slightest for this, and TLR aren't even giving them the opportunities to really set up. They're just pushing aggressively. It's the CZ that gets a kill, and actually still more pressure being applied. The long reload comes back to bite him. Zeke finally deals with things. The bomb was spotted out, however, so that's some information for TLR to work off of.
Yeah, and see, now Husky knows that he can push up this hard and just hold on the stairs. There's no one there. The bomb is dropped inside of kind of lower mid. JB, underneath the ramp in construction. Looking for something, anything, to come his way. Does fire a round, so it gives away his position, I think, but for now, he is safe. Weapons are available to be recovered if need be. Potentially not even needed. Joss going to be killing one of the Peak Esports guys, taking us now down to 3 versus 3. Weapon advantage going to the way of the T side. Husky. Here's the utility being deployed. Staving his time, ready and waiting. JB with the deacon, spots the head, misses the first shot, missed the second shot, that's not great. But it looks like he's still going to push the spray into the window and into the crack in the wall.
There's so much smoke.
Joss on the rotation does drag out one player. Cobra. Some more, but it's going to be Evans who's going to be able to do some more damage. JB with the deagle in hand. It's going to be Cobra. It's going to be able to take us to game point. No, he's not.
Joss comes out ahead. That's 15 for last resort. This, I mean, taking this in a 2-0 fashion, Peak, they upsetted Exilium coming into this. I thought for sure, I mean, TLR, sure they had to go up against Mezzy, Ash, the baddie boys on the other side of things. It was a 2-1 as well. It was a narrow victory. I mean, they seemed to actually kind of overcome them almost pretty easily. So, I mean, head-to-head, are the baddie boys equivalent to the likes of Exilium? I would argue no. Exilium seemed like the tougher opposition, and they're falling here just before they secure 2nd or 3rd, and TLR continue to be aggressive.
This
Finally.
is the Benny show. Completely the Benny show. 2 great frags will open that up. Of course, Dinson does retaliate fairly quickly with the deagle shot of his own, but it's a 3 versus 2. Peak, of course, they have the man advantage, but they're kind of running scared right now. They don't feel like they can push onto the site. JB lines one up. Okay, maybe we're going to be seeing something a little bit different. Trouto, last guy remaining for last resort. Is this his last resort to be able to push directly on towards the B site? Is he going to save here? No need, I don't think. Economy's not looking fantastic, but is he confident in himself? I think he is. He hasn't checked the right angle, and nope, he's crouching. Okay, so Peak Esports are still in this. It's 15-8. The last resort choke here?
7 in a row. I mean, I know these guys have been fighting tooth and nail in the lower bracket. They made an comeback in the last series, I'm pretty sure, against Exilium. So not out of the realms of possibility, but just such a long road, and we haven't seen anything too fantastic from them. No kind of illustrious strats, no sort of gimmicks thrown in as a result. And even with the superior weaponry, TLR found the opening pick. They've recovered a rifle. They've gotten that into King Joss's hands, who has been feeling it. He's had the hot hand. And Peak, how do you reapproach this? There's now weapons you need to be concerned about. They even have a gap in the smoke. Benny is in a great position. It's instead Trouto on the boost on the 1D. the 5 versus 3 in peak. Mayfield boxed in. They have to go towards the A site, and they're just stampeding towards them. Ebbins falls back towards the forklift, the only cover that remains, and he's gotten 3. Suddenly, TLR reconsider. They thought they could rush him down, but he shuts every single one of them out.
What was that? Great spray control to be able to take down those 3 players. Benny, Husky, and JB thrown to the wayside. Now Trouto and King Joss. Are they going to be able to win this for Last Resort? Maybe not. Taps coming on through from Evans. He's got 4. He needs to ace this to be able to keep his team in the game. AK versus Krieg. Health is basically level between these 2 players. Utility for Evans, nothing for the Last Resort player of King Josh. Will the King be defeated?
It all comes down to timing, and Joss gets it just right. He starts to think he just has to peek every so often just